back, everyone, to the channel. So, like the title of the video said, we're going to be talking about my opinions and my thoughts on the MCU's version of Spider-Man. To start it off, really, just a disclaimer. I enjoy Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man. It's good. It's new. There's moments where it really stays true, but most of my problem lies with there's so much potential for the character that I guess maybe it's still too early for me to really point out these issues. But I guess where I could start really is just there's points. Say let me just start off with his first movie in the MCU, which was Captain America: Civil War. The way I felt watching his interactions with everyone and him showing up in the film, like his intro, like when he was walking in, he was walking into his apartment with Aunt May, and it was just like even the way he was dressed, the way he looked, that felt very Peter-esque to me. And then his interactions with the characters during the Civil War fight, it's neat, because that's exactly how most adaptations of seeing Spider-Man alongside the bigger the Avengers or the bigger characters in the comic books and in cartoons, like it's always like he's always excited because he looks up to a lot of those heroes. And then we move on to Spider-Man: Homecoming. For me personally, I didn't really enjoy Homecoming that much. Like, it's a good movie, I just didn't enjoy it. Simply because maybe this issue is like a little, I guess, too fanboy or too old school. But like think about the Uncle Ben situation. They only brought Uncle Ben up once, and I'm not even talking about just through Spider-Man: Homecoming. I mean, in general, in the MCU, Uncle Ben was only mentioned once, and that was when Peter and Aunt May were having dinner. And I don't like how Peter acts throughout the entire film. Like the whole point for Spider-Man as a character is to be relatable. But not only that, his character, he takes responsibility very seriously. I mean, the whole thing about Spider-Man, the great term, with great power comes great responsibility. And he doesn't really, throughout Homecoming, he doesn't live by those words. You see him constantly throughout the film saying he's going to do something and then doesn't do it. Or not listening to Iron Man, or not making sure Aunt May is okay, or like, alright, here's an example. This was early in the film, during the Liz's party. In the middle of the party, he just left. And then, I mean, yeah, of course, he had things, he was trying to stop a crime. But, like, in most comic books, he just left Ned there. He just left Ned there, by himself. And in the comic books, like, and in real life, characters wouldn't have been cool with that. You wouldn't have been cool with that. If you were a person and your best friend just left you at a party, there's gonna be some conflict there. But, like, this is my thing throughout Spider-Man: Homecoming. Oh, it's cool. Every character Oh, it's all right. All is forgiven every single time Peter or Spider-Man does something. Uh, Another instance during the in the film, he pretty much stopped going to uh, I forgot what I don't know what it's called, the debate thing, or I don't know what he's called, but that whole competition group thing. He left that, and he stopped going to whatever that is, and then they welcomed back with open arms. Like they even made Flash's character even made a joke about it. He was like, "You think we're just gonna welcome you back with open arms?" And they're like, and then the teacher's like, "Welcome back, Peter. Flash, you're moved to second string." Like, awareness does not fix the problem. Like, he wouldn't have been welcomed back in real. If that was real life, he wouldn't have been welcomed back. And like I said before, Spider-Man's whole character is to be relatable, and that's something that they constantly have an issue with throughout the film. And another part, like they didn't really show the whole responsibility part until the end of the movie. But even in the end, alright, so like, when his suit got taken away after he didn't listen to Iron Man and went after the Vulture, then his suit got taken away. But then, after he saved the day, all is forgiven. Hey, you want this better suit? Like, really? It's just, a lot of it is just like, it didn't show your actions have consequences. And that's the whole point of Spider-Man. Like, everything he does, it never goes his way every single time. Like, that's the whole stigma of Peter Parker being Spider-Man, because he can't do both. If he focuses on his life as Peter Parker too much, his life as Spider-Man is in danger. Or if he focuses too much on being Spider-Man, his friends and family are gonna be upset with him, and his relationships are gonna falter. But throughout Spider-Man Homecoming, it's fine. It's cool. And then to the next film that he's in, which is an Infinity War. I don't have any real issues with that. I mean, a lot of it was plot convenience. He got like everything. Like at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, he rejected the suit. You know, trying to that was them trying to make him responsible. But then Infinity War, he gets the suit, he accepts it, he doesn't talk about it. You're an Avenger now. When he rejected being an Avenger at the end of Homecoming to try to be more responsible for himself. So he just undid everything that, they just undid everything that he was trying to do. And then, Endgame, you know, he wasn't really in there much, but, yeah, so in Endgame, it's, you know, just, like I said, he wasn't in there long enough for anyone really to, like, give a character analysis, you know, but, this is where things start going up better for me, right after Endgame. You know, we have Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man Far From Home, really, for me, like, I have some things that I have issues about, but, they're not, like, anything that, like, really messes with anything. Like, it's more like, I mean, was that really, did that really have to be in there? That kind of stuff. Like, Spider-Man Far From Home, to me, saved Spider-Man a little bit, or at least my opinion of their version of him. Just because, like, after Tony's death, you know, he's having to face being pretty much the new Iron Man, which has a lot of responsibility with it. And you know, he he made that big mistake, which was trusting Beck and giving him that, and I'm hoping that since that probably at least tries to teach him. That should be like a life lesson for him to, you know, not run away from your problems, because Spider-Man doesn't run away from his problems. He tries to fix whatever he can, however he can. And if it doesn't go his way, then he accepts it and tries to learn from it. Just like any normal person does with their life. Like I said, he's supposed to be relatable. And, you know, showing, I liked that, you know, it kind of showed a little character development after losing Tony and after Endgame, and it really helped, at least my opinion of the character. And I'm trying to think, going on to just that was all just character, like, but now like when it comes to powers throughout the films, there's a lot of not a lot, actually a little few issues that I have, and that's mainly Spider-Man's actually a lot more skillful than how they put him throughout the films. Like, even in the comic books, when he first started out, he wasn't, I mean, yeah, he was a new hero. He didn't know really what he was doing, but he learned fast. And I guess this is also a part of his character. And this is just a slight issue I have. Like, I didn't like the fact that Iron Man made his suit. I'm pretty sure a lot of people really didn't like that. I know a lot of people didn't have an issue with it, but Spider-Man and Peter Parker is supposed to be a very intelligent character. I mean, he's not like an Iron Man intelligent, but he's made some impressive technology inside the comic books. He made a bulletproof armor, several actually, after he lost his spider sense in the comics. So he's not some idiot. He's very intelligent and is very capable of making his own technology to fight villains. And I guess that's something that kind of also I saw in Far From Home, that I was starting to get a little bit more appreciation for what they were doing, because he made his own suit using Tony's technology to make his suit, but I mean, that's still getting closer to how the character's supposed to be. And throughout the MCU's films, it's you have his powers really being set to a very low standard. Because I've pointed out to my friends that Spider-Man's actually not as weak, like physically weak, as a lot of stories set him out to be. Like, one of his strongest feats was he picked up while underwater. This was a comic book. I think it was called. I don't remember what it was called. That's terrible. But it was a moment where he was really having trouble lifting things, because throughout the comic books, you know, he doesn't ever have troubles picking up things or saving his life using his strength. But the amount of strength he had just to pick this thing up, which was equivalent to a locomotive. That plus he was underwater, so the water pressure added even more resistance and weight. So, I mean, I guess it's a lot I really ask to have Spider-Man show a little more strength feats. I mean, throughout the entire MCU, like, all the characters are very weak in comparison to their comic book counterparts. But Spider-Man, you know, I want to see that characters and his powers really grow throughout the films, and I really am hoping that they'll do that, because, you know, comic book feats, let's say, he's defeated the entire X-Men by himself, and I think that's a pretty amazing feat. I think there was a time he actually beat Captain America in a fight, and just like he has a lot of feats. You know, he's not some weakling, and that was a lot of his feats like that were still when he was in his younger years. But really, I guess that's all I really had to say about the MCU Spider-Man. I mean, after Far From Home, I see that they're starting to like kind of evolve his character to be his own, instead of relying on the fact that he was supposed to be Iron Man's protege. And I guess to add on to more, there's been a lot of concept art for the next Spider-Man film. I mean, more fan art showing that Daredevil, there's a possibility that there's the rumor going around that Daredevil could be around in the next Spider-Man film, which I would be so happy about, because if anyone remembers the 90s TV show for Spider-Man, when Spider-Man was framed, Matt Murdock actually came in to help him, because, you know, he's a lawyer, and was trying to, you know, clear his name. And since after Far From Home, I guess spoiler alert already, but you know, Mysterio frames him for killing him, and you know, that would be a nice touch to see Daredevil come in, especially if it's the rumors are true and it's the one from the TV series from Netflix. That's really gonna be amazing, and I would love to see that, and I know a lot of people would love to see that. Because I know for years people have mentioned that they wanted to see a lot of Netflix series characters come to the big screen, and if they really do that, I think Daredevil is the best pick to start that off. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be all for today, and hopefully I shall upload again sooner. And there might have been a few key points that I left out in this video. I'll look back, and maybe we'll have another video like this talking about the MCU characters and my opinions of them. And yeah, if you haven't already, please press like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and thank you for watching. Peace.